Come and fly away with me. 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 Don't you be afraid, everything will change. You and I jumping off the edge. They say dreamers never die, so come.
Uganda, the country that stole my heart without emptying my wallet. When I arrived in Uganda in 2024, I expected an adventure, but also a pricey trip. To my surprise, this tiny, well-kept secret of East Africa was one of the most affordable but beautiful places I've ever been. From the mist-covered mountaintops of the Rwenzori Mountains to Jinja, where the Nile begins its slow-down-the-plate code, Uganda proved that adventure doesn't have to be expensive. I arrived as a visitor, but in love did I leave. This is my love story. A culture that feels alive. What impressed me most about Uganda wasn't just that it was one of the most affordable destinations I've ever been, but the cultural warmth that flowed through everyday life and the people, traditions, and customs here. Uganda isn't simply a place you go to. It is an experience that enters your soul. Its culture isn't locked away in museums or pages of history books. It's alive. It's breathing in its streets. It laughs in its people. It dances to the rhythm of daily life. I just felt it all. From that moment when I stepped into the chaotic yet electrifying atmosphere of Kampala, I felt it all around me. By the second day, I found myself on the threshold of Ndere Cultural Centre. When the Kaganda dance took the stage, I was mesmerized. The dancers swayed their waists with hypnotic fluidity, their feet keeping time with the deep, resonant beats of the drums. It wasn't just a performance, it was history in motion, a tribute to the ancient traditions of the Baganda people. But Uganda's culture isn't only reserved for the elaborate performances, but also lives within the more mundane moments too. As I wandered through Owino Market, I saw women in vividly coloured Gomesi dresses haggling over fresh cassava, and young men, their hands dusted with flour, flipping chapatis on hissing roadside grills. Breathtaking nature and wildlife. If Uganda's culture was the heartbeat of the country, then its nature was its soul, vast, untamed, and endlessly beautiful. I saw no more varied landscapes anywhere else. Misty mountains to golden savannas filled with life. Gorilla trekking in windy, impenetrable forest was one of the highlights of my trip. The trek was tough, wading through thick vegetation and ascending steep inclines. But the second I laid eyes on one of these gentle giants, every sore muscle was forgotten. My eyes stayed glued for a full hour as the family of gorillas groomed themselves, played, and lazed around in the greenery. I had never seen anything so raw, anything so real, most certainly one of my most humbling life experiences ever. But Uganda's wildlife isn't just about gorillas. A safari in Queen Elizabeth National Park brought me up close to elephants, buffalo, and the famous tree-climbing lions of Ishasha. Seeing a lion lazily perched on the branches of a giant fig tree, completely unfazed by our presence, felt almost unreal. And then there were the hippos, dozens of them, grunting and bobbing in the 𝐾𝐨𝐧'𝐭 Channel as I took a boat cruise. The sheer variety of wildlife in Uganda made it feel like I had walked straight into a National Geographic documentary. Nature here is not merely admired, but experienced. In Murchison Falls, I watched, mesmerized, as the great Nile River forcibly squeezed itself through a shivering 7 meters, thundering down with a roar physical enough to reach my chest. Even the more simple moments were magical. A boat ride on Lake Bunyonyi, dotted with 29 misty islands in calm waters, felt like floating through a dream. And when I trekked through the Rwenzori Mountains, which are also known as the Mountains of the Moon, I could see why explorers used to think that they were the source of the Nile. Every peak, every valley was a timeless masterpiece carved by the ages. I was awed by the nature of Uganda. Metropolitan areas make the beating heart of Uganda. The cities of Uganda had a pulse of their own, chaotic but exhilarating, modern but tethered to tradition. After days in the wilderness, hitting Kampala was like a jack in the blood. The streets were alive with sound, from the honking horns of matatus, shared taxis, to street vendors hawking everything from fresh fruit to phone chargers. And then there are the immutable boda-bodas, motorbike taxis that slice in and out of traffic like calipers. My first stop was Nakasero Market, where the sweet smell of ripe mangoes and roasted coffee beans wafted through the air. Vendors offered samples of jackfruit and passion fruit and tiny, fiery red chili peppers, smiling. The market was more than just a place to shop. It was an experience, a crash course in Uganda's flavors and daily life. Beyond the hustle of markets, Kampala had a modern side too. I wandered through Acacia Mall, where I found everything from designer brands to local crafts. And as the sun set, the city transformed. If Uganda's cities had introduced me to its pulse, its food brought me straight to its heart. Every meal told a story, every bite carried a tradition, and every dish was a warm invitation into the culture. I quickly learned that in Uganda, food wasn't just fuel, it was a way of life. One of my first and most unforgettable meals was luwombo, a dish slow-cooked in banana leaves. The rich, earthy aroma hit me before I even unwrapped it, revealing tender, spice-infused chicken bathed in a flavorful peanut sauce. I had it at a roadside eatery in Ginja while overlooking the Nile, and somehow it tasted even better with the view. But food in Uganda wasn't just about what was on the plate, it was about the people I shared it with. In a small village near Mbarara, I was invited to a traditional meal where locals served 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞, a unique white sauce made from ghee, alongside millet bread and roasted goat. We ate, laughed, and shared stories under the night sky, and for that moment, I felt like I truly belonged, or in the stories whispered over a fire. In a small community near Kabul, I sat with locals who shared legends of their ancestors, teaching me that history isn't just what we just have to read, but something we pass down. As my journey came to an end, I looked back at everything Uganda had given me. From the roar of Murchison Falls to the hum of Kampala's streets, from the taste of luwombo to the silence of the Kasubi tombs, Uganda wasn't just a place I visited, it was a place I felt. And maybe that's what travel is all about, listening to your instincts, stepping beyond expectations, and letting a place change you. So now I ask you, if you had the chance to visit Uganda, what would you explore first? Would it be the wildlife, the culture, the food, or the history? Or like me, would you let the country itself decide for you? If you enjoyed the journey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more adventures from around the world.